No, it's excellent. Let's go for that. Alright. Are we ready to go through? Oh. Hopefully I pressed the right button. See. Yeah. That's good.
A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to start at the beginning, with the house.
Oh. Take a look at those hands that was in the beginning, just saying that. Are they our hands?
Someone had put up a chain link fence, but it looked like I wasn't the first person to hop it. My brother Milton disappeared when I was 4. It was like the house just swallowed him up.
Just gonna test the audio. Hopefully it is good and balanced. No, the bitrate is unstable again, or whatever. I'll come and
I
go.
lived here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms.
Sounds to be okay. The volume I'm thinking about, so maybe a bit up, like this. Yeah.
Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately.
Valentine's was just here, by the way. I hope you got more than just bills in your letterbox. You see the hands from the beginning? It's not the same person. Just pointing that out.
I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral.
Kind of flew over my head the first time I played the game. No trespassing. This property is protected by video surveillance. Trespassers will be prosecuted, not shot. Really.
In her will, my mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked.
Sounds like questions.
Maybe she thought I'd know. Or she thought that the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
The Finches. Let's go the upper road. Take the downer road.
No one had driven this way in a long time, but I saw a few hoof prints.
Bye then.
The truth is, even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it. But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to.
And what a house. Before we go to the house, we have to go down to this the other room too. Just to make the most of it.
The woods around the house have always been uncomfortably silent. as if they're about to say something but never do.
Do you feel like that when you're in the woods, that they have to speak to you? And in our way of having like society now, we have a lot of sounds. Maybe the wind in like the trees with the wind in the leaves, and all the sounds that the woods actually have is maybe eerily quiet. And we're such a busy society with all the dings and dangs and screens and things and things. Maybe it is not so quiet. I don't think it is quiet. It isn't quiet. There's frogs.
Hey, listen.
You just ate your dinner. An early dinner. Wonderful. Or maybe not early dinner. Like, usually this is dinner time.
The house was exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it.
Was it good?
I asked Edith once about the dragon in the pond. She said it had killed her husband. I was 6. It seemed like an odd joke to me even then.
It will make sense. Trust me, it will make sense. In that story, when that story comes before us.
As a child, the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words.
You made enough for 2 days. That is dinner. When you make it at home, sometimes like making the right portions can be actually dinner for a couple of days. This will make sense when we come to that story. I promise.
Now, as a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the house.
Who wouldn't? You all have skeletons in the closets.
I hoped the key might unlock the front door. It didn't.
Gray's potting mix. I'm gonna try and make my green fingers and not like, kill plants more soon. Trying myself again with the help of apps to help me do some plants in some green plants in here.
Crawling through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11. The power had been turned off the night we left.
And we are gonna look at the bookshelf because the bookshelves, first of all, you know me, I am always collecting books when it comes to games, but in this case the bookshelf is filled with books that is classics that also tells a story about the people we are meeting, and I will show you when we come to that part. Not so much here, but we will see clear. But also the books I haven't written down are something I want to actually read, so I have to like jot them down when I come to that part. Let's
For the
just
first time in years, I felt like I was home.
beautiful house.
But instead of a family, there were just memories of one.
In loving memory, Louis Finch, beloved brother to Edith, son of Dawn, great grandson of Edie, memorial service, Finch family cemetery. There is also something I want to accentuate when we come to that part. That is telling not to grieve the living, not to grieve the living, not to grieve the dead. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's eerily. It's gonna break our heart. But it's beautifully, like, it's beautiful. That's
like
for
how
sure.
only one restaurant would deliver to our house, so we had Chinese a lot.
No, Chinese food is so good. If you have Chinese a lot, you get a bit sick of it.
Or how after Louis started working at the cannery, we all got sick of eating salmon. Except our cat, Molly.
It also is like telling me from a Norwegian point of view, they are Norwegian folk tales. Like, I don't know if it's a Norwegian game, but it is like, yeah, I'm gonna show what I mean. It is a Norwegian family. This family, the Finches, a Norwegian family, crossed over to America, trying to build the Metamorphosis. Have you read that book? This is what I was talking about, Metamorphosis. That is like Kafka telling about how a guy woke up and suddenly he was like a cockroach. He doesn't know how to deal with being a cockroach. Never been a cockroach before. It is a book about the House of... This is a House of Wonders. This is a house of all the tales that is family curses, but metaphorically put into a story that is told with golden threads of perfect metaphorical ways of actually telling very sad stories. Very sad stories. But yeah, Metamorphosis, Kafka. A guy wakes up as a cockroach. If you haven't read it, do read it. The Necronomicon. Yes, the Necronomicon. Swedish folktales. The Norse myths. The reason I go into these bookshelves, I love books in games. You know me. I have to hoard books the most of all things in games. That's books. But in this case, the bookshelf is also something I'm going to jot down things I haven't read. For example, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea or whatever that is. I haven't read that book, so I had to jot that down. But yeah.
The table was still a wreck from the night we left.
And just if you look at here, the Finches, Edith, that is us, 1999. But we also have Edie from earlier.
It was like a bomb had gone off, killing everyone but sparing the furniture.
Yeah. And you can look upon the house as not so much a house as a tale in itself, talking about... When I play the Witcher games, I always collect books the same with Skyrim games. Yeah, me too. And you have to read them, and I do. And I want to read more of the Baldur's Gate playthrough. We're gonna do that too, but I have to read all the games there.
My mom was the only one of us who could imagine Great-Grandma Edie living in a nursing home.
Yeah, and just saying, spoiling it a bit here. The saddest story might be the 90-year-old woman. And we're gonna come back to that whenever that comes. That is the saddest story.
Nothing in the house looked abnormal.
Told.
There was just too much of it, like a smile with too many teeth.
Oh, they're gonna make TV series of Baldur's Gate. I don't think they're gonna make any TV series of it. It's so many stories, like, you can't make D&D into...
Even the fireplace had a story. Edie told me the bricks came from the original house, after it sank.
And yeah, the original house sank. See if we find some golden books. Library of Babel. Babble, babble, blah. They have said they are gonna do it. I read it the other day. Yeah, but how can you make one story out of D&D? D&D is all the stories we make. And then some.
Great-Grandpa Sven built a music box for Barbara, along with the rest of the house.
Didn't know they had a series in the making. But yeah. They didn't make a Baldur's Gate 4 out of the same reason. They didn't want to go with the terms or something from Wizards of the Coast, I'm thinking.
Mom always told me to stay out of the basement, so I wasn't too surprised when the key didn't fit.
Let's go to the next.
My mom wasn't much of an optimist, but she never stopped believing that my brother Milton was alive. A lot of things got left behind in the whirlwind of that last night.
Not always thinking about things.
Edie told me once that every Finch who ever lived is buried somewhere in the library.
Aren't we all buried in some story? Do we ever enter this room? Larian Studios' multi-award-winning fantasy RPG Baldur's Gate 3 is set for its own TV series on HBO. I didn't know that. Thank you for reminding me. I didn't know that. I just watched Dunk the Tour. What's the name of that? I read the book. The George R. R. Martin. They made like Sir Dunk the Tour and Egg. Oh, what is the name of that series? Anyway, they are on HBO. I just reinvigorated my HBO just for that. So that's perfect. More to go on HBO. Love listening to audiobooks. Perfect, I do too. And do jot down the books. Like Metamorphosis is a very good book. Very good book. But yeah. A lot of men, especially men, but men, especially men, might one day wake up and feel like they have been turned into a bug. If their usefulness might go away. So that
After
book...
Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms.
Isn't that weird?
Then Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes.
Isn't that weirder? Well, The Metamorphosis by Kafka. It's a good book. It's an audio. I am not yet affiliated with any like promotions, but it is an audiobook on Audible. Audible. You can give me a promotion. I use you a lot. Perfect to listen to audiobooks when you are just doing household chores, making dinner, and Time in the Gods. Big Book of Homeschooling. The King in Yellow. Whatever. Molly.
Molly always seemed like a girl I could imagine being friends with, if she hadn't died in 1947.
Molly died 11 years old. 10 years old. I use audiobooks to shut the world out when I need peace. That is very good. Maybe not Kafka or existentialism is the way to shut it out, but it shuts it in to your mind. You kind of get wiser. It's good. Good for your brain.
I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room. I think my mom sometimes regretted not sealing it up.
I'm gonna find out who Walters is. Oh! That was a bot.
Lewis told me there were secret passages, but I never believed him.
20,000 Leagues Under the Water. I haven't read that myself, so I put that on my list. Yeah, the female voice acting in this game is very beautiful. It's calming. Takes you on the journey. This book, put it on your list. I think it's good. I haven't heard it myself, but I put it on my list.
Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets.
The Runaway Reef. In the year of 1866 was marked by a There's a reason that book is there.
To find out what my mom had been afraid of.
And the movie. Is there a movie? Have to hear the book first.
From the paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me.
I might sit you that small enough in the
Reading
corner
this,
there.
maybe it sounds like I had a plan. But I had no idea what was behind that door.
Now you're going into the first story.
Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead. I grew up looking at Molly's room through the peephole. Being inside for the first time, I felt like I'd stepped behind a painting.
Is the volume and audio good enough? Do I need to make it louder, quieter? Bedbug. Birds of Pacific Northwest. The Jungle Book. I can understand the Jungle Book being one of the books in her book. Okay, it's 9 Lives. Don't know if that is more of the hunger she speaks of. This story breaks my heart, as it is about negligence. Just not wanting to undermine people. But it really is a good metaphorical way of actually talking about being.
Hey, listen!
She has a sad but comfy voice. The voice is okay for me, but I'm on headset now. Good. As long as it's evenly told, it's okay.
I got the sense Edie had spent a lot of time here. Before my mom sealed the doors.
This might be how a 10-year-old would talk about negligence.
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat.
Before we continue, I just want to make my frame a bit smaller. I feel like I'm taking up a bit much space. There we go. Better. Just so it's okay.
My Halloween candy was all gone. Mom, can I come out now?
Sweetheart, it's late. Go to sleep.
The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it. I kept eating and eating. I ate a lot of things that night. Then I heard chirping outside my window. I thought about eating Christopher, but I held back. It was a barn swallow going back to her nest. I reached out for her. And suddenly, I was a cat. I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared. Mom and Dad didn't even look at me.
This might... headset not making like scratching noises. Sounded like it.
I jumped and I almost got her. I could tell she was getting really tired. Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird. I gobbled her up. And suddenly, I was an owl. First,
Eating that
all I
mama
heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass.
Need to find, where is it?
Rabbits. I imagined his face looking up and seeing mine through my talons. I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit. Then I flew off to find something bigger.
Can we do another rabbit and get the achievement?
A mama rabbit. She was almost too
Oh.
big to carry. I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating.
Sorry, the game just like windowed down.
And suddenly, I was a shark. I rolled off a cliff and into the ocean. Now, I was hungrier than ever.
Oh, the axles. Down is down.
I wanted fat, juicy seals. I tore off her flipper, and it tasted really good.
Disclaimer for seal
Grabbed on
getting
tight,
eaten.
but I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water. When I opened my eyes, everything had changed. Now I was a monster, and I smelled people everywhere. I was big, but I moved real quiet. I wanted to stop, but also I didn't.
Belly with a rusty razor, his belly with a rusty razor, his belly with a rusty razor, right in the
What shall I do with the drunken sailor? What shall I do with the drunken sailor early?
Across the water, we smelt something new. Something I had to have, so I swam towards it. I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe.
Oh Lord!
I got closer and closer. All of my stomach started growling. And suddenly, I was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to feed, and we both know I will be delicious.
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have.
Remind you, this is the first story we are told. And everybody gets, like, told their death sentence or what kills them. But this is the one that makes it a bit open-ended. We can all just jump at the conclusions.
I can't describe it, but I felt like some part of Molly was still here. Molly's gerbil had a tiny bedroom with its own even tinier gerbil cage.
Can we look outside? No? She only became 10 years old. That is horrible. It's a Jungle Book, 9 Life. It's a kitty cat. I can hear the cat, but I can't see it. Probably a reason for that. Can I go there? This is locked.
This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly.
So Edie is the oldest woman, the 90-year-old grandma. It's going to the elderly home.
I spent a lot of time in Great-Grandma Edie's room.
This one. The Tale of Tales, the birds in Pacific North, monsters of the deep. The Tale of Tales.
Louis died a week before we left, but Edie had already started to memorialize him. Edie knit me a new pair of gloves every year, just in time to replace the old ones. Her room was like a museum.
The mysteries of death and thereafter, joining the great majority.
For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune and misfortune.
Norway. That is where I'm from. There's a lot of like traveling from Norway to America.
Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse, his wife Ingeborg and their newborn son, Johann.
And I think this is a family that actually traveled towards America just to build.
On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house, hoping to leave the curse behind. But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea.
Scratch, scratch.
Odin's daughter Edith, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island. Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery.
That's the house being built in the background that we are in.
His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house. Whatever's wrong with this family, it goes back a long ways.
A lot of the stories from that time of historical traveling towards from Norway to actually America is like these stories, built upon dreams and wantings. And not everyone is without its curse. In memory, mummification, tales from the beyond. Norwegian folk tales. Yeah. Student tales top honors in state photography test. Couple turns land into native haven. Sorry, I get lost in all the bits and pieces that isn't told.
Edie gave a big interview about a mole man living under the Finch house. My mom was furious.
Get told that story too.
I hadn't thought of myself as Edith Jr. for a long, long time. One summer, they evacuated the island, but Edie refused to go. For a few weeks, she was a celebrity.
You know that in what's the name? Is it in Russia or whatever? Poland, Russia. Where is it? They have like radioactive land. You know what I'm talking about. It's in the tip of my tongue. There's a lot of elderly people there, still living there. Don't want to remove themselves from the land. Norske folkeeventyr. Norwegian folk tales. That's what it said. Fury. No, Silent City. Built in 1937 by Sven Finch.
When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed.
That's just
She could
sorry.
have, but she didn't.
He was eaten by a dragon. Killed by a dragon. Yeah, there we have the story about the dragon told. This is the one I want to just tell. Deepest sympathy, my warmest condolences, help and comfort you in your sad lives or loss. Well, these are everywhere. But it tells more about the saddest tales are those that not die.
Even in her 90s. Sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother.
but the one that lives on. Don't grieve the living, grieve the living, don't grieve the dead. Kind of.
The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife, Kay, left on the house was the pink bathroom.
Have you ever seen a bathroom like this?
It was a pretty big trace.
Because I have. Thank God that didn't survive. Can we look out? Look in? Look now? New? There's a Secret in a Bathroom by Swen and Edith Finch.
There's a secret in this bathroom. It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book. Sven gave Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down.
Murder probe clues exhausted. Did we seal the pictures? Photography. Milton was here. Captured the 5 Grand Generals. That is a wonderful picture. Oh my god, what a beautiful picture. You always have these, like, white things in homes, but you never have a picture of them actually being made. That is a perfect picture to take. If you ever have a family, take a picture of this. It might be one of the most telling tales about that kind of situation. Capture the secret lives of war photographers. Here's the thing I'm talking about. See what I mean? This is in every home, almost. But there never is a picture of them being made. If you ever do make one of these, take a picture of it
Grandpa
being
Sam
made.
had a twin.
It's beautiful.
And that he never talked about him.
The old breed, the Milky Way and the other places.
I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it.
We're just gonna roll an ad because time is there. Just a moment. I'll be right back. Telling more. You have to do it like once an hour. Meanwhile, before we continue with Calvin's story, commercials are given like we are getting more tools to make it functional. Like just having a little saying about that. They are actually giving us more. They might have heard my prayers. Because I really want the ads to be functional, but we have to roll them once every hour. When we have them turn off to this degree. And that's fine. Oh, perfect. You're one of those who doesn't have to deal with the commercials. Perfect. I'm just saying, like, we have to roll them once every hour. But they are working on, like, giving us more power to actually, like, see the game play, not being disruptive. Like, because of, like, commercials. So I put them on to, like, I am rolling them and trying to roll them myself instead of them actually just suddenly interrupting people. Because they do have, like, set into the, right now, they do have set into motion that it doesn't interrupt when there's, like, high, like, activity and stuff, but it doesn't always have high activity. It can still, like, interrupt people mid, like, storytelling. So we are gonna try and just do it, like, I have a countdown, yeah. So I know when it's gonna be rolled to make the quota okay. But at the same time, it's good that you're here. So, this game isn't that long. But yeah, it is, as I say, very sad. Like, we can... Molly is the only one that actually is, like, not, like, open-ended told about the death. Now we're gonna be told about Calvin's way of being, like, the family curse. And, it's beautifully told, like, how Molly is told being, like, hungry. She was hungry, but for anything else than neglect. Ah, there we go. Commercial's over, let's continue. She was just a neglected child. Let's continue. Calvin's story.
My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom. And he did. At Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again. And he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
Sam! Calvin! Dinner's ready! Coming!
But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it. I told him going around was impossible.
Actually, it's possible.
Maybe if I hadn't said that.
But it's metaphorical, told.
Calvin! I'm not gonna tell you again!
Maybe if the wind hadn't picked up. Then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it. I think he'd already made up his mind.
Oh, this was a childhood thing I never dared do.
That's
I
what I
always
want to
got
remember
scared.
about my brother.
Brings me back to childhood. We're going around.
The day he made up his mind to fly. And he did.
Did you do that? Go around?
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing.
I tried, but I always got scared, and then I didn't do it to the degree that I went around the swing set. I think a lot of people did. Loop-de-loop-de-loop. Play it again. The Hardy Boys, lift off. Kraken.
After the funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room.
Mom said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again.
Ooh. Can't look out? Alright. Share a bedroom with your dead twin brother. The metaphors.
The passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
Milton was there too.
Growing up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star.
Can we look out? No, we can't look out. Alright.
I never thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards.
We're going to this. I'm just gonna update. We're not starting the game anymore. So I don't. Falsely. Oliver Twist. I haven't read that book either. One of the like all-time classics. Everybody should read.
Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
Old Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch. As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up. A has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room. So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback was cancelled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
Thanks, babe. I'll be back in a sec.
20 minutes later, Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him, right on cue. She reached for the music box. And as she wound the key, she listened for Rick, but the house was silent.
This part messes a bit with my, like,
She
disorienting.
found Rick's crutch and imagined the worst.
Not that way? Alright. Wait, that's not... that
The
way.
gang's leader is the infamous Hookman killer, Dr. Carl Hamill, who impaled and then ate his family 10 years ago tonight.
Oh.
The old Finch rattled and grew still.
Oh dear!
Oh dear.
Oh.
Rick?
Oh dear.
Barb, relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
Well, I'm not scared, Rick. I'm furious.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and you...
She threw him out, but she kept a little something to remember him by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the late picture show. Hours later...
Barbara! Walter, what's going on up there? Ah! Okay, I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, you're dead, Walter.
It's so geniusly told with the like the cartoonish vibe, but it's very disorienting. Didn't stay. I have roller skates like that, but they are just black. I'm looking forward to using them this summer. It'll be so fun.
Walter, are you there? Walter had vanished, but his bedside radio was still on.
Orcas Island police describe the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify the police of any suspicious activity.
Barbara turned, saw the Hookman, and was speechless. He was quite smashing. He couldn't get enough of Barbara.
Okay, Barbara, there's gotta be another way out of here.
That night, she played her part beautifully. Molly's door hadn't been opened in years. The hinges groaned. He wasn't moving, but she sensed the story might not be over yet.
I was double tap. Or something like that. The Norse myth.
The Hookman had vanished. She listened for his breathing, but all she heard was...
A dreamer's tales, not Ginny's tales. My fault.
At the door, she heard whispering. It was coming from inside the house.
Oh dear.
The monsters had come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream come true. Then she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life. I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter? Hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard, but that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box is all they ever found of her. Her ear. Now that's what I call a real eerie tale.
Edie told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending.
Swan Lake. Perfectly classic that is actually fitting to this story. Truly. The swan being eaten alive. And turn it into a black swan. Whatever. Can we look outside? Nope. Nope. Nope.
I guess now I know why Mom didn't like me playing with the music box.
That's why you passed these on the way, yeah.
Barbara was a child star for 2 years, until
Looking
America
at
grew
people
out of
and
it.
telescopes long enough to hear something, something.
Edie's father, Odin, built the original house.
This house is awesome, yeah. It's awesome, and the stories are awesome.
Whenever
Yeah.
people ask me about my
Beautifully
family,
made
the first thing they always want to know about is Barbara.
and written. A golden storytelling.
Mom must have locked the third floor stairs on the night we left.
And the house and like how it's like telling you the story is very beautiful. It is. But it is more dark than it actually looks. So cozy. This house looks very cozy.
It's funny. All those times I played with the music box and never found the basement key.
I'm gonna go find the basement key. I'm just gonna look inside.
The last time I was in Edith Sr.'s room, I was 10 and she was painting my portrait.
As a kid, I just assumed every house had peepholes and sealed rooms you weren't allowed inside of.
Creepy. People to the toilet.
My Grandpa Sam spent 7 years sharing a room with his dead brother, Calvin.
Horrors. Yeah, let's go down to the music box. Let me just turn it until it actually comes out. It's such a beautiful music too. It's very beautiful. Somber but beautiful. Cleaning solution. Clean dry dishwasher soap. Looks so cozy with the sunlight. Oh my god.
Mom said the basement was off limits, unless I wanted another tetanus shot.
Son was eaten with a dragon. Tried to build a
I saw
dragon.
Edie sneak down to the basement once, carrying packages.
I thought maybe she was hiding presents.
It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that.
It's very dark for you. This part is a bit dark. Double check if I can actually make it a bit brighter. There we go.
I remember asking Mom once about where Walter had gone. She said after Barbara died, he got as far away as he could.
Alvin's cereal. Extra crispy. Pea soup.
If there's a pattern in all these stories, I think it's that none of us has gotten very far.
Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years. On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive a week.
I wonder if the shaking is like metaphorical.
But after a few days, I settled into a routine. That's what kept me sane. Having a schedule, living for today. I always expected to be dead tomorrow. But if you wait long enough, you get used to anything. Even a monster on the other side of the door starts to feel normal. Almost friendly. And then one day, everything just stopped. Whatever that thing was, it was gone. Maybe it got tired of waiting. Or maybe I just got tired of being afraid. It's been a week now, the longest in 30 years. I'm done waiting. I have to leave while I still can.
What's in it? We're gonna look at that later. The Demons Within or something, I think, is in a bookshelf. Okay, The Exorcist. Yeah, Exorcism. Spiritual warfare. Self-protection.
I know it's out there somewhere. Whatever killed Barbara and Mom. Molly and Calvin. Maybe this is all a mistake. But I need to stop living the same day, even if it kills me. Whatever's out there, I want you to know I'm ready for it. I'm going to appreciate all of it, especially the food. I don't mind if I only have a year left, or a month, or a single week. I'd be happy with one more day. I can already imagine the sun on my face.
Walter died when I was 6. I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here.
The mole man.
I'm sure my mom was trying to protect me.
Cracking the curse, exorcism. Warding away spirits. Evil unleashed, surviving death. Dark defense. Well, it tells its own story about PTSD and fear. Living. Not just PTSD, but fear of actually living. You're scared. Something happened, like trauma.
Maybe she was afraid I'd end up like Walter.
Surviving whatever.
But if she never told me about an uncle under the house...
How lonely.
I can only imagine what else she was hiding. I don't want to make the same mistakes she made. Trying to bury something that's still alive. Now that there's only one of us left, or maybe 2, I thought it was time I heard the stories for myself and found out what happened to everyone else. But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem. Maybe we believed so much in a family curse, we made it real.
Isn't that really what makes family curses real? Like for everyone. Oh, what? Oh. There's chairs in the trees.
I don't know if I should even be writing this. Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me. But I thought you should know about your family. And the history you're a part of.
That's the old house.
Though to be honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now. I think the people in these stories believed them, for what that's worth.
Just a moment before I continue. Remember that. Sometimes commercials comes up and just like, no, slumber it. We don't want it to come. Before we want it to come.
And when you look at the house, that history of imagination and stubbornness and madness, any of it seems possible. I think we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it. What kind of family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house?
That is kind of morbid, though. At least they were a big family.
It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but the pet cemetery may be more uncomfortable than the human one.
Just want to say something about this. And really think about the people who need like therapeutical animals, and how the therapy animals are never chosen to be the animals of the people needing therapy. So, yeah, in that sense of
3 of the gerbils are mine, and 2 had been my fault.
sometimes don't think about the animals also is like living being and part of a family, and sometimes they are overlooked as having no choice. They never get to choose their family. We don't choose our family either, but as I said, some of the gerbil was their own fault.
Sven built the house, but it was Edith who designed the cemetery.
I'm sorry. What? He's the builder, and she's the teller, storyteller. Walter Finch. I think I never looked into that before. It's a beautiful place. Just need to make Does that work? No. It doesn't. Making like a screenshot. Forgotten the screenshot thingy. Well, whatever. No, go away.
I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away.
That was the Odin's the oldest.
She could see it poking out of the water at low tide. Edie said she dreamed about the old house every night. Edie's side was always easier for me to understand. But the older I get, the more I can see where my mom was coming from. Her dad had been pretty strict, but it wasn't enough to save her brothers. She was just trying to do better. She lost 2 of her brothers, just like I did. I get why she tried so hard to protect us. We never found Milton's body, so my mom insisted we were putting up a monument, not a tombstone.
Yeah, where did Milton go? Milton will... probably find that out. I don't remember the part.
There's so many things I wish I could ask my mom now. Part of me thinks this is what she wanted all along.
for me to come back someday and find everything out for myself.
I love having like a house like this.
But looking back on it now, if she told me there was going to be so much climbing,
I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant.
This is a comfy and relaxing. Yeah, it's comfy and relaxing, but it's also heartbreaking when you get to here. It's kind of like every family's curse. Like we all bear our curses, and in our blood lines, inherited down.
I never met Grandpa Sam, but I think he and my mom had a lot in common.
Sam was the one sharing the bedroom with. Yeah, it has a lot of sadness too. Sharing the bedroom with Calvin, twin brother, but died.
They were both pretty intense.
Road. Journeying home. The Book of Knots.
Instead of hiding from death, Sam seemed to go out of his way to meet it.
Can't look out. He was a photographer.
Sam spent his life shooting photos, but Mom said he got nervous being in front of the camera. I guess we're all afraid of something.
Dawn, I promise, you'll never forget this weekend.
Yes, sir.
These memories are gonna last a lifetime.
Hmm? What? Am I gonna?
Perfect.
It's gonna rain the whole weekend, isn't it? I will never forget this weekend, Dad.
That's the spirit. Okay, got it.
I'm gonna take some pictures, okay?
Just be careful. That camera's older than you are. Definitely should not have drunk all that coffee. Hey!
That's a keeper.
I'm just saying, I'm not always gonna be here, Dawn. You'll need to remember this stuff, if you want to survive.
I'll be fine, Dad.
You know who else thought he was gonna be fine?
Some guy who died.
Dawn, I'm being serious.
I know, Dad. You're always serious. Doesn't being out here make you want to chill out?
Well, to tell you the truth, I haven't been out here in 20 years.
Hunting season.
Last time I was with my brother Calvin. Man, that was a great trip. Your grandpa Sven taught us how to fish, how to build a fire. Dawn, don't you think you could find something more interesting to photograph? We found an old logging trail. There were deer everywhere.
Dad!
Good eyes, Dawn. Before you take the shot, let me get a picture of you.
Where's she at?
Dad, I...
Just breathe. Turn off your imagination. Focus on your target. Let me get behind you.
Do I have to do this?
Dawn, you don't have to do anything. But if you want to survive, you'll need to be strong. keep yourself squared up, elbows down, like we practiced, whenever you're ready. Great shot, Dawn! I'm proud of you, Dawn.
I'm so sorry.
Always remember that, okay?
Dad, it's twitching. I think
That's
it's
totally normal, Dawn. Just focus on the camera. Try not to think about...
Dad! Of all these stories, that's the one I wish most that my mom had told me.
Hey, listen!
Oh, yeah. We have to roll a commercial. Be right back. But yeah. Oh, disclaimer about animal and hunting. I don't hunt myself. But the story being told here is like, I can understand how that is. He was the one living with his twin brother. Wow. Yeah. Twin brother being like dead. I know, like maybe a bit calloused. Just my makeup. So unnecessary. This is like I don't know how commercial is on the other side of the glass, like for people that doesn't have them turned off. And I don't want it to like interrupt storytelling, so
Hey, listen!
yeah, good, it's done. Because I'm gonna find out how it interferes. So we just have to take like a 1 minute here, 1 minute there, every so often, and they are like making it more up to us to have control over. Recently, Twitch gave out like an update about making more, making it better, like we can control it more. So they heard my plea, which is good. Lasted 50 seconds, also perfect. I love that. Because it shouldn't last for 3 minutes. But you have to run like an ad for 3 minutes every hour. And yeah, no, it's runned. Before we start again, I just need something to drink. And just to make it like, we are now with Sam, Walter, meaning next is, big disclaimer, next one is very sad. But not so much for dead person. But for what is coming now, big disclaimer, super duper sad. 4 minutes ad breaks, I don't even have that in my options, luckily, because I would never like run 4 minutes. Like 3 minutes is necessary for every hour, but 4 minutes? No, I don't want that to be so disruptive. It's not about the commercials, it's about the storylines. So yeah, before I do this story, which is Gregory, I think, it's very sad. I just need something to drink, so be right back. After we're done with this game, which is not so far from it actually, it's a short game, we are gonna do some fun, like baby steps or something, just to take the edge off. Yeah, I wanted to make this. I was thinking about making this into a YouTube story. Just like a video that I just like edited and stuff, put it up to YouTube. But I can do that later. Because I want to learn that too. But next story might be very sad. For the living, not for the dead. Grieve the living, not the dead. The dead are resting. If I'm not mistaken. Just having that said.
After Sam died, my mom and Edie got really close. They'd both lost a lot.
Yeah, it's Gregory. Gregory is a very sad story, disclaimer, by the way. Raise yourselves.
Dear Kay, do you remember the way Gregory used to laugh when he thought he was alone? Like something funny was happening, but only he could see it. I think he saw things the rest of us don't.
Time's over, Gregory. It's time to... Hold on, sweetie.
Yes, never leave a baby alone in water.
Sam, I told you I don't want to talk right now.
Not for a minute. Not for a second.
I wonder what he saw. What his world was like. He reminded me so much of Calvin. Lost in his imagination.
Ow. Ow.
I know how silly it sounds. That I worried about a baby being too happy. But I could feel him slipping away.
Sorry about that, Gregory.
I know you did everything you could. Maybe if I hadn't called that night.
Damn it. Hold on, I don't want Gregory to hear this.
I wish he could have told us about the world he saw.
Oh. Oh,
There's so
grief.
much I don't understand about Gregory, about everything.
I thought I was going to.
But I know what happened wasn't your fault. I'm sure he's happy. And he'd want me to be happy too. Good luck, Kay. Love, Sam.
What's me? Dawn, we don't get to hear her story. Here's the dearest sympathies and the When someone you love becomes a memory, the memory becomes a treasure.
I can't imagine my mom ever writing poetry, and yet...
This poem is so wonderful. It's a beautiful poem.
A poem for Gus, who always said the wedding was a bad idea. Our father never hit us kids, at least not very hard, before the day my brother said with teenage disregard that he'd be dead before he'd see a wedding in our yard. My father made him come, of course, but Gus stood far apart, just flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside his heart. I tried to talk him out of it, but though he'd never met her, we don't need a stepmom, were the words that
I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride.
When the time for photos came, Dad ordered him to come here. But Gus declined, and as a sign held up his middle finger. The wind picked up, and panicked geese appeared and quickly went. But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent. The rain came down in buckets then, but no one seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent our dad had crudely made. The thunder sounded much too close and full of angry power. But all my father said to this was, "Make the music louder." I wish that I could truly say I thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach alone, just you, the wind, sea, and foam. But I didn't, until we found you.
She never talked about him, but Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus.
That's so sad. Can we look outside here? Nope. Great American poetry. Routine. Prone. Turning up.
My mom moved up to the loft after her brothers died.
We're having this in
At
your
the time,
house.
it was as far away as she could get.
Kids.
Religion was another thing my mom never talked about, but I think it helped her a lot after her dad died. She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay.
Fly to India.
My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English. Louis was born a year later.
Just looking, Dawn there, Louis, and yeah. Down.
When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go. I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back. The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that. And for a while, things were good. Almost normal.
homeschooled with their own, like, classroom.
But it didn't last.
Scientific method: observation, question, research, hypothesis, experiment, data, conclusion. Yeah, that is good. Motivation to learn. 7 ways to create fulfilling classroom. David. Dawn Finch. Not David.
The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle. After Milton disappeared, the only thing he left behind was a room full of paintings. Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush.
Bless you. Where did he go? Just disappeared.
I was 4 when Milton disappeared.
Just disappeared. Guess he was never found.
Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors.
Can't look outside.
Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out.
Oh, wrong way. Always go the wrong way first.
Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Louis blamed himself. After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room, until Mom got him a job at the cannery.
Everyone always told me to stay out of Louis's room, except Louis.
He's a boat. Boat on top of the house.
Louis's room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him lived on.
Disclaimer, I don't promote any substance abuse.
Louis and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
I die a lot in games too. Don't have to be best.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Lewis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance
Disclaimer.
abuse.
Be careful.
Newly sober, I believe Lewis
Dissociating.
first noticed the monotony of his daily life. He kept working at the canyon, but he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to wander. I asked him to describe it.
Two things at the same time. Oh.
He said he started small, imagining a labyrinth.
PTT? Oh god.
He'd feel his way about.
Wrong way there.
Then something moved. Bats. And toads.
Okay.
And things that have not names. He knew it was all in his head.
He'd be a perfect D&D player.
But he took it very seriously.
Fix your laundry. Yeah. Oh god.
I had hoped he'd find himself.
I can fix my laundry too. But yeah. Right now I'm doing two things at the same time. Monotony.
But he found something more. I worried about him then. Daydreaming at the cannery. I spoke with his boss. But he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused. Like a whole new Lewis. So I let him go on. I even encouraged him. It seemed very promising at first. He told me he'd made a new friend. On the edge of a city he named Lewis Topia. He built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians. And songs for them to play.
Oh my god.
He talked about starting a band.
Never disassociate yourself into another world. You tell stories.
He was always
though.
humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger. He no longer spoke at the cannery. But his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination. So he could do whatever he wished. He held an election for mayor. And he won. They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering.
Really, it gets easier.
It became a game for him. He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville. St. Louis. We started drifting away from our reality. Minneapolis.
Minneapolis.
Until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery. Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Louis kept sailing on. In Louisburg, he heard rumors of a
handsome queen, a beautiful queen.
handsome queen.
I'm crying.
The queen was on her own quest for
sinister serpents.
Sinister serpents. He followed the sound of her
Silver harp. In my back I have a harp to fix.
silver
too.
harp.
Oh, we missed a note.
His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained sound. He knew the world was all in his imagination. But he was so proud of having created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king. For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming. And then it struck him that the real Louis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace. My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him. He began to forget the world we know. I think it pained him to remember Louis, the cannery worker. He began to despise the man with a royal contempt. I still thought I could save him. Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder. The palace would be packed with his companions. Including the wise Calico who'd insisted on inviting him.
always follow your dreams. Just saying, don't do something unfulfilling.
There was only one thing left to do.
Please.
Bend down on his head. And the rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
It's just so sad.
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
Yeah. I should conclude all the stories except our own and some.
On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie. I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder. I wish we'd stayed. But I understand why we left.
My mom ended up leaving everything behind.
What happened that night had been coming for a long time. Maybe it should have come sooner. But it had to end one way or another.
All that's left now is to tell you about that last night.
That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
The power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles. When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance. Or that Edie had a key to it.
That thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house. Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight. We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning, okay?
Yeah. I'm sorry. No! 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 I can't read the book.
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out. It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground. There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life. But I never thought I'd go back to it. When the fog rolled in, I lost my way.
Where are you walking? Where are we going?
I got turned around. For a while, I wandered. I started seeing things. Things I'd forgotten had ever existed.
Welcome back.
But
We are
when I saw
at the end
them,
point.
they felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me. Or maybe I came back to them. Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it! Let go! I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car. I never saw Great-Grandma Edie again.
Oh.
The next morning, the band came to pick her up, but she was already gone. After that, we moved around a lot. We both tried to make the best of it. A few years went by. My mom didn't like to talk about it, but she started getting sick a lot. The rest happened pretty quickly. She got better for a while, and then she didn't. And then I was alone. The last Finch left alive. Until I found out about you. I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is. This journal was supposed to be for you. But now I hope you'll never see it. I just want to meet you and tell you all these stories myself. But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way.
That's so sad.
This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
And that's why you do not have the same hands in the beginning as you have in the whole game. That's so sad. Oh no. The stupid ad wants to be playing informants. That is the whole game. And it breaks my heart. But yeah, the saddest story here. It's the story that tried to tell every story and didn't get told. Which is Edith. Like, the old Edith. Who were 90 or something. But yeah. I love this game. But it's like, oh, it's heartbreaking. We need to do something fun. Just to break it up. Or just have it go for credits.
Listen! Listen!
So, this game is wonderfully told. It's terribly heartbreaking. But it tells a story, very much a complex story. Very, like, the metaphorical way that it actually tells the story is like genius. But it is a bit sad. You have to do something less sad. Like, get to speed up. Which is where we can do baby steps. But this story, it's very short. Like, it took us 2.5 hours almost. 2.5 hours. 2 hours and 18 minutes going through the whole game. And yeah. People making this game is like storytelling geniuses, but it's a heartbreaking story, that's true. And the house looks so cozy, but it really is very much sad. Very sad, but yeah. Grieve the living, not the dead. And sadly, the saddest story being told, the Edith Finch team. The saddest story being told is actually going a whole life, like 90 years, She just wanted to tell all the stories. And all of them. And then her story is not told at all. Gives us like questions about, oh,